What is up, what is up, what is up, what is up? We are live. Yes, I can't believe it. So 8 o'clock in the morning Thailand time, I decided to do a little live stream. We're gonna do the 10 times 45 seconds breath hold table, one breath table, which means we're gonna take one breath in between, and we're having already some people tuning in. I suffer PTSD from related oxygen deprivation. Wow. And now I am just starting to learn to overcome the panic response by doing CO2 tables and breathing techniques from freediving. So this is awesome. Okay, that's one hell of a comment that is coming in right now. So let me elaborate a little bit on this before we start the actual table. By the way, guys, during this stream, I'm also gonna shoot. Let me just press the record button here on my, yeah, there we are. So now I'm recording locally on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I am live streaming right now, and I'm also recording on my local SD card. So today I'm gonna give you a little insights into how I record stuff and how I repurpose live streams for post-production, so for edited videos on YouTube. So you wanna get the maximum out of your videos, right? So today we're streaming live, and we're also recording on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is my webcam connected to my streaming software. I know it sounds a lot technical, but for those who make videos, it makes more sense. So you will hear me say an intro later on, because I'm going to record that specific video, the 10 times 45 table, in a way that it can be reused for another video. So don't think it's weird when I re-say or redo certain intros in this live video. So during this live stream, I want to give you, let's say, a view behind the scenes of how I do things. And the view behind the scenes today is in my bed, because we are going to hold our breath. So let's get back to this comment here. I suffer PTSD from related oxygen deprivation. I'm not a doctor, and I haven't diagnosed your specific condition, but this looks very, very weird to me. So I would like to know, where did you get that statement from? I suffer PTSD from related oxygen deprivation. Where did you get oxygen deprivation from? Under what circumstances? And then if you indeed got oxygen deprivation, why would you do CO2 tables? Because CO2 tables are very different. CO2, high CO2 is very different from oxygen deprivation. Oxygen deprivation, low oxygen, is hypoxia, whereas CO2 is carbon dioxide, is another gas. Oxygen is not carbon dioxide. So we talk about this, it's a long story. So we talk about this in this video, about the relationships between oxygen and CO2 and how those two are related. So if you have created some kind of anxiety from oxygen deprivation, which I highly doubt is true, but yeah, then again, I don't know your situation, but I would be very surprised if this was true. Then for sure doing CO2 tables is not a solution, because CO2 tables, they increase carbon dioxide, so you feel more urge to breathe, so you become more familiar with the urge to breathe. That has got nothing to do with oxygen. So this just as a side note, but the good news is, in this video, no, sorry, not in this video, in another video that I'm actually editing today, and I will upload it today. So if you really want to know the ins and outs, the relationship between oxygen and CO2 tolerance, then you can watch that video. I'm going to upload it today. So besides this live stream, I'm going to upload a video about how to train CO2 tolerance in a pool when you are alone, when you don't have a buddy. So we all know you cannot do freediving or pool training when you don't have a buddy. But there are certain swim exercises that you can do when you're alone that do improve your CO2 tolerance a lot. And that's the video I'm gonna upload today. So my bad, CO2 built up, that's what I meant. So I know that the way people talk about these things is very different than what actually happens, and that's why I make videos, and that's why I try to explain this, because people talk about things and they use words like oxygen, whereas they actually mean something else. So if you don't know how to put things into words and be accurate about the things you talk about, it means you have no idea what's going on. And that's fine. That is fine that you don't have an idea what's going on. That's why I'm an instructor and I teach things. That's why you are a student. But when you started your comment and you said, I suffer PTSD, let me pull that in, there we go. I suffer PTSD from related oxygen deprivation. I immediately knew this was not true. But then again, I don't know your situation, but I would be very surprised. Anyway, so that's why we make videos, guys, to educate people so you can become better at understanding, and so you stop believing in things that you think are true but that are actually not there. And some people spend their whole entire lives believing in some ideas they have made up in their own minds, but that in reality actually do not exist. Yeah, that's why we become knowledgeable, that's why we study, that's why we read, so we gain knowledge and we see the world as it actually is, not as we think it is. Okay, enough ranting to start this live stream. I like it, by the way, this comment. You gave me something to talk about. We have another comment in Dutch, because I'm originally from Belgium, so I'm just going to read this in Dutch. Het viel me op dat al uw oefeningen ook heel goed zijn voor het dagelijkse leven in plaats van alleen maar vrijduiken. Yes, I think this is someone from Holland, because they use the word vrijduiken, freediving, which is a literal translation for freediving. In Belgium, where I'm from, we would use more the word freediving itself, but yeah, we can use the word vrijduiken as well. I'm just assuming that this person is from Holland, but I can be wrong. Let me know in the comments. So what this person is actually saying is that I'm surprised, or I can see that in the videos that you're making on YouTube, all these breathing exercises that you're doing are also suitable for people who are not freedivers. So they bring a lot of benefits for everyone, not just freedivers, and that is absolutely true. So thank you for this comment. Yes, all the breathing techniques and the breath holding that I teach on my channel and that are meant for freedivers, they can be done by non-freedivers as well. So if you are a non-freediver, then you can just practice these exercises even if you will never freedive, because they are good for you, they are beneficial, and they will increase your overall health and fitness. Well guessed, Gert. So yes, you are from Holland. So guys, I'm glad there's some people in the stream already, so this gives me something to talk about, right? So sometimes when I stream and there's no one in the comments, I just keep speaking to myself and looking at the camera, and I feel a bit lonely. So I'm glad there's people in the comment section. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do a 10 times 45 seconds table, which we call a one breath table. And I'm going to share my screen for this. So here we have a timer. So we will count down from 10, and then we will have 1 minute and 30 seconds preparation, and then we start holding our breath. And in between each breath we will do one breath only. So after your breath hold, you exhale, then you inhale, and then you hold your breath. But before we do so, we have another comment coming in. I struggle so much in breath underwater, in breath holding underwater. Are there any technical supports? My whole channel is one big piece of technical support on how to hold your breath longer. And this channel, this live stream is support. Everything I do on this channel. I'm sometimes surprised when people ask me this, like, do you have any tips on how to hold your breath longer? In case you haven't figured out yet, this channel has 1.5 million subscribers. I have over 700 videos teaching people on how to hold their breath longer. So yes, there is technical support on my channel. And if you want more personalized support, because maybe that's what you're referring to, we have the underwater squad, skool.com/underwater squad, which is my community on the Skool platform. Just take a look at my link in bio, skool.com/underwater squad. You can start at $9. That's a very low price to start, where you get access to the 6-week breather challenge, where you learn everything about breath holding. You learn all the theory, everything you need to know, all breathing exercises that set you up for longer breath holds. We also have a $37 plan inside that group, which gives you access to a structured breath hold training program, and you can even sign up per year, where you get even more perks. So there's a lot of options depending on your budget. You can start at a low tier, the $9, and there you get access to the 6-week challenge. So you get a lot of information there for if you want more personalized feedback. We have a community in there where you can talk to me, you have direct access to me. So go ahead, go over to the link in bio, check that out. All right, guys. So for the 10 times 45 seconds breath holds, I am going to join that. Thank you so much. I see you in there. I have this table in here, so I'm gonna let the timer play. I'm not 100% confident about the technical aspect of this, so I think that the voice in this timer is gonna come through the speakers of my MacBook, and that will be picked up by my microphone that is in here, but we will see about that. So maybe the sound will be a bit distorted. I hope there will not be any echo. Anyway, when the stream is done and I will watch the replay, then I will know, because this is the first time that I'm actually doing it with this setup. It's a lot going on technically, guys, because besides sharing my screen, sharing the counter, I'm also recording this on the DJI, on the SD card, so I can edit it later for a more polished video. There's a lot going on, but that's what keeps this job exciting, you know, streaming live. And on top of that, I have this 10 times 45 seconds table in my Huawei, the ultimate watch from Huawei Ultimate Watch. When we go to dive tools, I can go into apnea training, and here I have a custom table, and I made this table yesterday, of course. So this is my custom table. Hope you can see it. In there I have my 10 breath holds already. So yes, I have my timer here, which I'm gonna let play, but at the same time I'm gonna play my timer in here. And why am I doing this? Because this watch will record my heartbeat during the breath hold, and it will also record the oxygen saturation, SpO2. Now I can already tell you my oxygen will not go down, because this is a CO2 tolerance table, so my CO2 will go up. Now there are no devices that can actually measure, at least not commercially available devices that can measure your CO2, so there is no graphical representation of the CO2 going up, but you will see the graphical representation, the graph of the oxygen. And I hope I can show that in this stream, because I will pull the data on my iPhone after this breath hold. So yes, technically there's a lot going on. I hope everything will work out fine. We will see. So I'm gonna have to press start on this table on my watch at the same time as I fire up the timer on my screen here. So that's a critical moment. I hope that is going to go well. And then I'm still gonna have to hold my breath. All right, guys, let's go to this timer. Are you all ready? So for the people who are watching, I can see there's a couple of people watching right now. You can go sit down in a comfortable position on your bed, sofa, wherever, and hold your breath with me. So the whole breath hold table will be 10 times 45 seconds. So that's around 8 minutes. So it's not that long. It's not that long. And do this with me. So right now I'm going to record a new intro to get this started, and then we're going to hold our breath. What is up, guys? Today we're going to hold our breath 10 times 45 seconds. This is a CO2 tolerance training table. We're going to do one breath in between, and you're going to do this together with me. If you're new on this channel, my name is Gert Leroy. I'm a freediving instructor and coach, a former national record holder. And on this channel, I have helped thousands hold their breath longer. So today we're going to do this CO2 tolerance training table. You're going to do this in real time with me, and by the end of the table you will have a better feeling, a better understanding of what it is to have increasing levels of CO2. As you hold your breath 10 times, you will feel more urge to breathe, more CO2, and that's exactly why we do this training table. So if you're ready for this, go sit down with a straight spine, or go sit down a bit backwards, leaning backwards like I do on my bed, or lay down on a yoga mat. If you are all ready, let's get started. Let me fire up this table here on my no, that's not it. Let me take another one. Apnea training, custom table. All right. I am excited. Let's get started. Get ready to start your session. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 minute and 30 seconds preparation starts now. Tidal breathing through the nose. Tidal breathing through the nose, so normal light breathing. Let's all do this together. We are preparing 1 minute and 30 seconds you have as a preparation. And normally you would be like super relaxed, but I am not that relaxed because there's a lot going on technically, and now I have to hold my breath. So this is all parts of live streaming. I love it. I love a little challenge. Tidal breathing through the nose. And you can start taking the 2 purges, 2 bigger breaths. And another one. Take a final breath now. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. After this breath hold, one more to go. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold your breath. This is the last breath hold. And soon I'm gonna give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. Peace in every breath.
Peace in every breath, guys. Peace in every breath. Yes, 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 yes. So this was a 10 times 45 seconds. One breath table. Good job. So we have a question here. What level of comfort should we be experiencing during this if we are new to it? So that's a good question. So there are, of course, different levels to this, and this table is actually the intermediate table already. So if you go search on my YouTube channel for 10 times 30, so just type in the search bar 10x 30 and then my name, then you will find that particular table. So there you're going to hold your breath for 30 seconds only with one breath in between. And if you go to my playlists, there is a lot of these guided breath holds sequences there. So there's like over 20 different tables on my YouTube channel. So just go to my playlist with me, hold your breath with me. So the playlist is called With Me. And the more beginner's version of this one would be the 10 times 30 seconds. So if you're a beginner, then you should do the beginner's version. All right, awesome, guys. Let me record just an outro for this video. If you like this kind of training, guys, there is more inside of the Underwater Squad, skool.com/underwater squad, link in description. That's where you get a structured training plan up until 4+ minute breath holds, and some people even hold their breath for 5 minutes. So go ahead, join us. I see you inside. Peace in every breath. That was just an outro that I recorded right now for the purpose of post-production, so you have a little insight in how I shoot videos. So I'm doing a live stream, but at the same time I'm recording stuff for videos. I hope you enjoy this. Yeah, that was it for today. We've been streaming for 36 seconds. Let me see if any other comments are coming in. I find this one very interesting. Let me record it again for the purpose of post-production. So, all right, guys, I got a comment here from Gakina Awiya. Nice name. I suffer PTSD from related oxygen deprivation, and now I am just starting to learn to overcome the panic response by doing CO2 tables and breathing techniques from freediving, so this is awesome. There's a lot in that comment, a lot. So let's start with the beginning. I suffer from PTSD, so I don't know your personal situation, so I cannot diagnose you on that, so I can only believe you. So if you suffer from PTSD, then that is what it is. So I hope you are medically diagnosed and you did not do any kind of self-diagnosis, because just because we feel a little anxious, that doesn't mean you have PTSD. So people these days are very fast with self-diagnosis, and we use ChatGPT to ask what's going on with us. Yesterday I heard I saw a video where people were saying that ChatGPT right now is used mostly for therapy. So we're basically using ChatGPT as a psychologist, and we're also using it as a doctor. So whether you actually have PTSD or not, I cannot tell. I am not a doctor. But what I can tell is that the next part of your sentence, related from oxygen deprivation, that sounds very unlikely to me, because in what situation did you experience oxygen deprivation? What most likely happened here is that you went into panic in some situation where you had to hold your breath. So I need more information, of course, but let's assume you were underwater and you couldn't breathe, of course, because you're underwater, and you couldn't get up to the surface either. So maybe you were put in that situation. Maybe this was a test for the military and you had to stay a certain time underwater. I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but my take on this is that you were put in a situation where you had to hold your breath and you didn't want to, and it freaked you out, and now you got some kind of trauma, some kind of breath hold trauma as a result of this. That doesn't mean you have PTSD, and that doesn't mean you have that was the result of oxygen deprivation. So now I'm just starting to learn to overcome the panic response. Yes, that is indeed what you need to do. Learn to relax, so I can help you with this by doing CO2 tables. Yes, indeed. So part of your comment is very right, and other part is not so right, but that's okay, because we are here to learn and learn to understand. So oxygen deprivation is not the same as hypercapnia. So hypercapnia is high CO2. So when we hold our breath longer, as we hold our breath longer, the levels of CO2, carbon dioxide, they go up. And that's what we describe as the urge to breathe. So we feel this, we have this uncomfortable feeling. That is the urge to breathe. And in freediving, we call this, so the very first manifestation, a physical manifestation of the urge to breathe, of higher levels of CO2, in freediving we call this contraction. So when you get a first spasm of the respiratory muscles, that can be your diaphragm, which is the big muscle that separates your thorax from your abdomen. So the diaphragm can do some kind of hiccup movement. That's what we call a contraction, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the diaphragm. It can be a spasm of the muscles in here in your chest, or even in your neck. So sometimes we see these muscle twitches in students' necks. So that's the first contraction. Or it can be right under your ear, or it can be even in your back. So when a muscle starts twitching, contracting, that is what we call a contraction. And that would be the first physical manifestation of the urge to breathe. So when we do CO2 tolerance training, like for instance, 1 breath tables, 10 times 30 seconds, 10 times 45 seconds, or for advanced, 10 times 60 seconds. If you want to see those tables, then just search for them on my YouTube channel, or go to my playlist with me, where we have all kinds of CO2 tolerance tables. So that's why we do those tables, to get used to higher levels of CO2. So this is not just a physical adaptation, this is more a mental adaptation. So when you say, I want to overcome the panic response by doing CO2 tables, that's exactly what we do when we train CO2 tolerance. we become physically and mentally more used to higher levels of CO2, so that we do not react in a panic with a panic response, but we just ease into those higher levels of CO2. So yes, we feel the higher levels of CO2. We are aware that this is happening in our body, but the brain does not go into panic mode anymore. The brain just says, oh, we are experiencing higher level CO2 now. That is perfectly fine. I have trained for this. I know what this is. This is not low oxygen, so I'm not going to black out. So there is no reason to be scared about this. I know what this is. And because I know what this is and it does not harm me in any way, I am now more confident. So I can just let this happen and hold my breath even longer, even though I'm starting to feel more uncomfortable, because feeling uncomfortable does not mean that you have to stop the breath hold. Feeling uncomfortable does not mean that you are going to black out. No, a blackout happens because of low oxygen, hypoxia. But when you feel uncomfortable, that means higher levels of CO2. High levels of CO2 does not mean low levels of oxygen. Those are two different things. So yes, you can hold your breath longer and start feeling even more uncomfortable, and still hold your breath longer. That's what we train for in CO2 tolerance training tables, and that's what advanced freedivers are good at. It is to hold their breath longer and deal with these levels of feeling uncomfortable. And as you hold your breath longer and you become better at this, you will start to redefine what it means to feel uncomfortable. Because I'm saying now, yes, you can feel even more uncomfortable, but in fact, you won't feel more uncomfortable because you train for this and you start understanding that what your brain labels as uncomfortable is actually not that uncomfortable. You start feeling more comfortable with what you used to label as uncomfortable. And that's why I like to see breath holding as a metaphor for life, because in life there are uncomfortable situations and you have to learn to become comfortable with those uncomfortable situations. So a breath hold is a tool to learn to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Let that sink in for a while. This is all about psychology, right? So breath holding is a lot about how we master our minds. It's about psychology. It's about mastering how we react to uncomfortable situations. That is absolutely wonderful. And from freediving, so this is awesome. I absolutely agree. So besides the CO2 tolerance training tables, we also do breathing techniques, learning on how to use the diaphragm to breathe instead of the chest, the importance of nose breathing. We do things like square breathing, where you inhale over the count of 4, hold your breath over the count of 4, exhale over the count of 4, and then hold your breath again after that exhalation over the count of 4. So this is actually a breath hold on empty lungs, and that also is a CO2 tolerance training table. If you want to know more about all these breathing techniques, you can join my underwater squats, skool.com/underwater squat, where we all learn about breathing techniques and train our breath hold together. That's my community on the Skool platform. If that is something that you would like to do, you can join for $9. For $9 you get access to the 6-week breather challenge, where you learn everything about breathing and breath holding techniques. So I see you inside, guys. Peace in every breath. All right, I see some other comments have come in. Gert, can you mute your output on your speakers? Otherwise it echoes. Are you still hearing echo right now? Because there is no, I don't think there is, so I had sound coming in from the timer, but I stopped the timer right now. So I'm not sure if there is still echo coming in, but if there is, let me know. But if I'm just talking right now, I'm only using this microphone here. So I am not sure if we still have echo. Anyway, thanks for for the feedback. So if this is, yes, still okay. That's weird. So I have to, yeah, this was a test with a new technical setup. So if there is echo, then that's too bad. I do see I have an option here, use echo cancellation. This right now. So if all is fine, you should not hear the echo right now. Let me know. So I have to remind myself of checking this option here, use echo cancellation. So if the echo is gone now, then let me know. I am in Thailand right now, so it's now 8 o'clock, 47 minutes, Thailand time, Bangkok time. So it's in the morning here, so Australia is probably noon, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Awesome, guys, awesome. I would like to record the intro again for this one, because I'm going to make a full video about this. Let me record the intro again. What is up, guys? Oxygen deprivation or high levels of carbon dioxide, CO2, which cause the urge to breathe. Those are two very different things, and today in this video we're going to talk about this. If you're new to this channel, my name is Gert Leroy. I'm a freediving instructor and coach, a former national record holder, and on this channel I have helped thousands hold their breath longer. By the end of this video, guys, you will know the difference between low oxygen, which causes blackouts, and high CO2, which causes the urge to breathe. Those are two different things. Just because you feel the urge to breathe, that does not mean you're going to black out. And right now, we're going to dive deep into this, the hows and whys and the relationship between oxygen and CO2. All right. I love my job, guys. I love my job. I love my job. So, yep, I'm gonna, if you have any questions, let me know now. Otherwise, I'm gonna end this stream because we're almost 1 hour into this stream. So that was enough for today. I plan to do more streams in the future because honestly, I actually enjoy it. So I like to get interactions. I like to get some feedback from you guys. Otherwise, I'm just talking to a camera. So yeah, if you have any more questions, now is your time. And otherwise, I see you on the next live stream, right? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me pull up my Huawei app. So this is the Huawei app, which is connected to my watch. Let me see if I can pull up the graph for this table we just did today. Today is 11 December. Yes, 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 yes. Hold. Yeah, okay. Awesome. So this is it. This is the graph for the table we just did today. So in total, we held our breath for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So 10 times 45 seconds breath hold. So in total, we did 7 minutes and 30 seconds breath hold. Average heart rate was 65 beats per minute. And that should be lower. But yeah, I am recording a live stream. I am paying attention to a million things here. So that's why my heart rate was probably a bit higher. Average SpO2, that's interesting. So it went down a little bit. So maximum SpO2 is of course 99% oxygen saturation. The lowest it got, or the average, oh no, the minimum is 89. So yes, my oxygen went down a little bit to 89%. By the way, guys, blackout ranges for SpO2 are around 50% or lower. So around 50% SpO2, that would be a blackout range. And I believe if you're a trained freediver, you can momentarily even go lower. So 89%, no blackout whatsoever. You are still very, very fine with 89%. Let me pull up this table. Can I make this bigger? So as you have probably noticed on my first breath hold, I started exhaling a little bit earlier because I was a bit confused. I had to think about so many things, so I started exhaling when the timer was counting. But then I fixed the problem. it's not that accurate. As you can see, some parts are left out, so maybe there was not enough contact in between my watch and my arm. So you can see there are some white spaces in between. But what we can see is that my SpO2 went down to 90. So the lowest SpO2 I had on this is I see 92. I see 92, 93. Yeah, it didn't go lower than 92. That's what I thought. I thought 89 was already a bit low. So the lowest SpO2 I got on this table is 92%. So normal ranges, normal healthy ranges are 95 to 99%. So on this particular table, I only went down to 92%, which is just a little bit under the level, the normal level of 95, 99. So that's basically just the same. So basically we do not have a decrease in oxygen. It's very minimal. So there is no reason to fear for a blackout on this kind of CO2 tables because your oxygen saturation did not go down. Interesting, yeah. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I see you next time. Peace in every breath.